Mickey's Man Friday is obviously loosely based on Robinson Crusoe, the book by Daniel Defoe. And I have to say, there are things in this that are not necessarily politically correct. And this is not unique. There are many animations from this time. This was released in 1935, directed by David Hand. There are many animations around this time from Disney and from Warner Brothers and other studios where they depict cannibals, stereotypical cannibals, and their very savage approaches and behaviours, to want for better terms, of course. So that's something to bear in mind, that when you watch this, it's not necessarily politically correct. Do I think it's offensive? No, I don't. I think it's very difficult to be offended by something that was really, it's realistically almost a century ago, just shy of 90 years ago. It's very difficult to be offended by something like that. It is, however, very fascinating as a product of its time. It's well animated with regards to the fluidity of the movements and how well it's edited, and the music is very good as well. But just if you watch this, which I recommend you do because it's educational and it's interesting, that it's obviously something to bear in mind that some of the depictions are not great. So this was released, as I said, in 1935, and Mickey stumbles upon this island. He is stranded on an island, and he runs into these cannibals who are about to cook one of their fellow cannibals. And I was going to say, to want for a better term, but they are cannibals. They are a depiction of cannibals. The characters are cannibals. But of course, that is a very negative stereotype in itself. But anyway, Mickey rescues this individual, who he names Man Friday, of course, based on Man Friday from Robinson Crusoe. And they work together, and there's actually a really lovely scene where this individual is very grateful for Mickey for rescuing him, and it's a lovely scene where they build up their friendship, and that aspect of it is really nice. These two individuals from two very different cultures and backgrounds working together in harmony, and that's lovely to see. But of course, they're working together to protect themselves from these cannibals, and then obviously things get a little bit out of control and wild, and the behaviours are very negative and stereotypical. Now, I'm not actually that bothered about that because, as I said, it's very, very old. The cartoon is not. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of Disney when I say this is not the representation that Disney would put out today. I feel confident in saying they would be happy with that opinion. But of course, this was an attitude of the time. As I said, various other studios do this as well, or did this at the time. It's not just Disney. And it's interesting to look back and think that these types of animations and these depictions were acceptable and considered normal almost. And in that regard, it's very interesting. As I said, the style of animation is actually really pleasing. It flows very well. It's got a very clear narrative structure that's very easy to follow. It ticks all of the boxes with regards to what makes a quality short animation. It's just the actual subject matter itself that's a little bit choice. I enjoyed it for the right reasons. I was curious about it for some other reasons. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of Mickey or of Disney. I think there's a lot that we could discuss. There's a lot that you could probably have thoughts about. I would love to know what you think of it. We have some brilliant voice acting as well from Walt Disney as Mickey, of course, and Billy Bletcher as Man Friday. It's not perfect. Certainly, if this was a product of today, there would be raised eyebrows. But as a product of its time, it's well animated and well narrated. Questionable subject matter, but still worth checking out.